Good morning, campers. Happy Monday. And you know what it means. It means that here on this channel, it's Masculine Monday. So we're going to be doing reading for divine masculines, for my beautiful collectives of wonderful divine masculines on a journey. So we're going to do what you're going through right now, how you're feeling, where you are on a journey, maybe some guidance, maybe some messages from your guides. What I wanna mention, just a little disclaimer before we start, because I know that many of my ladies, ladies on a journey, divine feminines, they watch these videos, which is great because I always say this, even if you know this is not your collective, we can watch these videos for educational purposes, because every collective touches on topics of healing and the journey, divine love, and so on and so forth. But please be mindful, because before you feel this is your masculine that we're talking about, please be mindful that the readings that I do for the masculines are usually masculines that are farther along the way, the journey. So those are masculines where we talk about you've been activated to the journey years ago. You already entering the state of your self-awareness, or you are near Satori. Why? Because in the beginning of this journey, the masculines are so dormant that not in a million years they would watch a reading, right? So even if I said something that resonates deeply in the first sentences, they would swipe immediately. They're so deeply in the shadows, in the matrix. So if you're a feminine that you've been on this journey for like a year or two, most likely this is not your masculine, but just something that I was guided to share. So maybe some of you need to hear that. All right, beautiful collective of masculines that I'm connecting to today. What's going on with you right now? Where's your emotion? What's going on with you? Ten of Swords. Not the best opening card. So this collective, you would be in mental anguish. I'm hearing a lot of pain, a lot of I'm hearing overthinking. I'm seeing Nine of Swords as well. So maybe you have trouble sleeping. I feel like something is happening right now that is pushing you to move forward and to release certain things that are still causing you pain in your life. So Ten of Swords, it's sort of one of these cards that it carries the energy of pain. It carries the energy of anxiety, of suffering, but it also carries the energy of closure, right? So there must be something in your life that has been now confirmation. It feels like it's getting worse. It feels like it's getting stronger. But it's happening to finally be closed, to finally be released. What else? We have the Emperor. That's actually nice. I want to do two more. I feel like, our beautiful masculines, when we start this journey, right? You usually start something that you would probably not accept. Another reason why in the beginning you wouldn't be watching this video. You start in your feminine energy. You are deeply in your wounded feminine energy, because it is your wounded feminine energy that dismisses the truth, that is avoidant, that is so afraid confirmation, so afraid of loving, of suffering, of committing, of standing in front of, right? So your feminine is very wounded, your feminine is very imbalanced, your inner feminine, right? And on this journey, in the first phases, you usually, through karmic challenges, through closing certain karmic patterns, subconsciously you heal that. And when you step into the awareness of the journey, into the awareness that your life has changed since you met your feminine, that perhaps you have to do a little more conscious work when it comes to improving your life, your spirit guides usually push you to situations, experiences, lessons that are showing you, there's a reason it's coming to my mind, that are showing you how to be the true masculine. Most masculines on this journey, you only know distorted masculine. You don't know what divine masculine is. You don't know what, you don't know the difference between distortion and divinity. So you're usually surrounded by very distorted men from early childhood, and you associate manhood with distorted qualities, with shallowness, with flakiness, with non-committal behavior, right? And with hating women oftentimes, or at minimum not liking women and fearing women. So I feel like whatever's happening right now, it's showing you the true colors of masculinity, how masculinity should look like. We have Four of Cups, and we have Strength. So, and Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You guys, you would be in a very challenging moment of time, very emotional moment of time. So maybe certain things are ending in your life, and despite the fact that something deep down inside of you is telling you that it's a good thing. Maybe I'm hearing some karmic relationships as well. Certain things are ending, certain burdens are being released. It's causing a lot of pain, because sometimes it's coming to my mind, but for many of you, it may be ending a karmic relationship. So despite the fact you are ending a relationship that in your heart you know it has no future, there is no love, there, you know, maybe you even know that this is a karmic relationship, the process of ending is always difficult, right? The process of ending is always difficult for a variety of reasons. First of all, change is always challenging. Letting go is always challenging. Second of all, karmic relationships for masculines are usually low vibrational women, the distorted women, right? So oftentimes when you reach that moment of breakup, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of aggression. So it's really difficult. They really become the very sharp mirror of yours, and it's really difficult to face that. So it may be causing sadness, it may be causing trigger, despite the fact that you do know that it's something that you need to close. I'm being guided to pull a few of these just to confirm. What is it that you're closing right now? Just 3 or 4. I'm hearing engagement ring at the bottom of the deck, so maybe a detail for some of you that maybe you've been connected to someone that you've even been engaged, or they've been pressuring you to take the next step. Maybe for some of you that even was, I'm hearing like that that push to end things. We have I like you. We have the Sword and Rose, clarity, truth, revelation. Yes, clarity, truth, revelation. We have Butterfly, the change, and we have heartbroken, The moment I saw this I like you, it's weird because this card doesn't talk about that, but I heard that that's sort of a manipulation game. So I feel like for most of you that ending, maybe you've been connected to someone, maybe it was even more serious, and I feel like this person started to push you towards more commitment, started to push you or either engagement or maybe moving in together, and I feel like you try to express in an actually a nice way that you don't want that's not something that you want, that you're not ready. And I feel like there was some sort of a manipulation, you know, like this distorted feminine energy that goes into how could you do this to me, you know, you've been wasting my time and now you don't want to commit to me. It may even be a little bit of that situation, like, please don't leave me, please don't abandon me, I'm going to do something to myself, right? So again, it's a collective. I'm seeing many situations, and I'm hearing variety of things, but I feel like overall it's the situation when you were being pushed to do something that you didn't feel comfortable with, and you tried to stand in your strength, but it only made things worse. It created drama, it created manipulation, ultimatum for some of you as well, I'm hearing, and that actually made you see the truth, So maybe you've even started having these thoughts that, you know, someone who loves you doesn't do these things. Someone who loves you, and it's true, mature, divine woman, if she wants commitment and you're not giving this commitment to her, she will just leave. True divine feminine, we don't push men to give us things. We don't force, we don't insist, we don't threaten, right? We don't manipulate. because we understand that if things are not given freely, they have no true value, they have no true meaning. So I feel like whatever pain you're going through, this situation helped you to see the truth, helped you to transform. It is helping you to step into more of a masculine energy, to really maybe strengthen your boundaries. And I find that many masculines, you go through these kind of experiences. So some of you go through these experiences before you meet your divine, some of you in the same time. So you're meeting your divine, you're getting activated to the journey, and you still are being pulled back by your ex. And some of you already on the journey in separation but at one point of your life you are coming across women who are very controlling, manipulative, who use their sensuality, their sexuality, their emotions, right? A bit of a victim game, right? And because you are in your feminine energy, you are not in your masculine strength, in your self-worth, in understanding that it is not your responsibility to, if you don't want to be with someone because there's no love, you have all the right to end that relationship. Do you know what I mean? So you would be changing, you would be a little bit heartbroken as well, because it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. And I'm hearing that some of you with that experience, with that thing that is happening right now, you may actually be going towards thinking about your feminine. And oftentimes, sorry, my table is shaking. Oftentimes those kind of situation, they help you realize how different your divine feminine is, that she would never do these things. Because even when we cry, when we get emotional, when we do have a level of distortion in the beginning because we are unhealed, it's like we want to see you, we want to push things, we are chasing, we are longing, but we never enter that state where we would actually force you to do things, or we would threaten you, or we would cause so much drama, right? Because it's in our blueprint, even when we're wounded, right? It's so above us. It's not something that we would do. So I feel that for some of you may be actually, your mind may be taking you there. Ten of Swords. We have Wheel of Fortune and we have Eight of Cups. We have Wheel of Fortune and we have Eight of Cups. I feel like the wheel is turning for you right now. The wheel is turning for you. Something very destined is taking place. Something that you are. I like that Eight of Cups with that Ten of Swords. It really means what we already said. You are walking away. So even if you are in a difficult situation, even if it's now causing you distress, even if now you don't know how to play this out, you don't know what to do, there are things that you don't, those are difficult situations, you guys. They're very difficult situations. But I feel you have decided. It's like, I don't want to continue with this person. No matter how it's going to play out, no matter what's going to happen, I'm not going to allow myself to be manipulated, which is beautiful. But I'm hearing two things as well. Some of you really may be in very drastic situations when there is sort of a threatening kind of situation, or maybe even attempts to, pull on your attention, and maybe you're connected to someone that is saying that there's no reason for them to live if you're gonna leave them, or things like that. So those situations are really difficult to handle, right? And many wounded people stay in these relationships because they feel that they would bear the blame whatever this other person will do. But no, you don't. As long as you play out things respectfully, with care, with empathy, you are not obligated to be with someone that you don't love, that doesn't give you happiness, right? So imagine the level of distortion of a person who would want to keep someone forcefully through manipulation. If someone is telling you that they don't love you, that it's not something that you could ever in any kind of future build something true, real, and tangible. So I feel like you decided. I feel like You may have been connected, some of you may have been connected to this person through several cycles, through variety, like numerous cycles. Maybe you've even been like in and out. Maybe it's someone that it's been returning. Maybe for some of you even knew this person before you're feminine, and you know that you broke it off and you went back. I'm hearing that for some of you it may have been sorry, transformation, a really long cycle. I'm hearing what's dead, it's dead. There's no turning back. You know this. I feel it may be a while. I feel it may be a while before you'll figure it out, but allow yourself to be guided. We're going to do some guidance when it comes to this situation. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. And the World. Beautiful. The World on top of Strength. You are ready to close this cycle. I feel like many of you in this collective, you would have tried many times. There's a reason I was hearing this. I feel like this is not just a situation where you met someone, maybe you connected, you had short-lived romance, and then you wanted to leave, and this person was sort of like bombarding you with messages. This is deeper than that. This is more serious than that. This is a situation when you actually had a relationship with someone. You were actually connected to someone. And I feel like this person was pushing you to give more. And, you know, from the very beginning, our masculines, it's just a matter of karmic contracts. When we have karmic contract with someone, we are being really energetically pulled into their orbit, whether we want it or not, because our soul knows that we have to complete this contract. We have to go through this lesson. Maybe one of your lessons was in the past, examine your relationships, not just with this woman, but maybe also with, you know, your parents, your mother, other people in your life. It seems like there is quite a strong of a people pleaser within you. It's like your self-love wasn't strong enough to walk away from certain things knowing that you're going to hurt people. But you guys, in this world, you know, we cannot make everyone happy. It is not our job to make everyone happy. I don't know why this statement from Steve Jobs is coming to mind. If you want to make everyone happy, be a ice cream seller. Maybe you know this phrase, and maybe you've heard this phrase. This reason it came to my mind. But you cannot make everyone happy. You cannot. So what kind of a world it would be if someone falls in love with you and you're like, okay, I'm going to be with you because I don't want to make you miserable. No. And I feel like you struggled with this. I feel like it wouldn't be your first rodeo with this person. I feel like this collective, you're connected to someone who is very manipulative. And listen, even if they have mental health issues, even if they have some level of distortion, I'm hearing they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It's a conscious manipulation to keep you in their life. And I feel right now you are standing in front of a decision. I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue. We would just be two miserable people alongside of each other. And I feel like it's the first time you express your truth. So maybe in the past when this person would go all, you know, telenovela drama on you, I don't want to hear it. Please tell me you love me. Maybe you would say to them, okay, I love you, knowing that it's not true. And I feel like now, no matter how much they're screaming, you know, and just begging, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. There's this masculine strength within this collective that is coming to the surface, that is emerging to the surface. But it was part of your destiny. So really right now, we're going to do guidance. But like I said, be compassionate, but in that compassion, be strong. Accept that it was part of your destined path. There was a part of you definitely had a karmic contract with this person, but it's time to walk away. It's time to close the cycle with strength, with masculinity. Not the nicest energy. I don't even want to go and do like the energy of this person because you guys, I know it's not nice. I know it's not nice. It's a distorted feminine, but what I want you to know is that we always have to look towards whether you are the masculine in this situation, right? Or you are the divine feminine connected to this collective, and maybe you knew that your person was connected to someone who was very low vibrational, who was very manipulative, right? Who wouldn't give them happiness. We really have to, part of who we are as divines is really to embody unconditional love, but not just towards each other, but towards everyone. And oftentimes the feminines, they're very reactive when they find out that there is a third party, right? And they have resentment or negative feelings towards their masculines or towards that other woman. But true divine feminine, it's a difficult, mindset and energetic states to reach, but true divine feminine understands that it happens for a reason. This woman who've lived so less lifetimes than I have and is still on a lower plane and is still on a lower vibration, maybe 500, 400 lifetimes ago it was me. You are me, I am you. We are all one. We all have a right to exist in this world. So there's a reason I'm saying this. Try not to think about this, oh my God, I've wasted so much time with this woman. She drew me away from my feminine. Now I have to deal with this. Try to look at her as a chapter on your journey that given you opportunity to really learn a lot. Perhaps if it hadn't been because of this woman and the intensity of this connection, maybe you would never find the courage within you to say no, to break it off, to understand that you have the right to be happy, that the meaning of your life is not to make everyone happy. And this is what I always say to my people pleasers. If you want to try, I burned myself again. If you really want to try to make everyone happy, you will always fail, because it's the nature of humans that are harvesting energy of others. They will never be happy, no matter what you do. You will do what they want, and then in 2 weeks they will want a completely different things. You will be their puppet, right? So you will never ever make them happy. So don't even try. Right? But really, I feel like this collective, you may be going in, those kind of thoughts that, oh my God, have compassion. This, I feel like this is, there may be more lessons within it, but I feel like you really are being, the divine is showing you to be compassionate, to be kind in this situation, you have spent some time of your life with this woman, right? So now you decided to end things. Now you know that it has no future, that you deserve to be loved, and truly, because this is not love. This is not love. This woman, whatever she's telling to you, this is not love. This is wounding. But true love is freedom. It may be another lesson of yours. True love is freedom. This is something that as divine feminists, we teach you masculines. When we love, and we love you like no one else, but we give you your freedom. We release you in separation. We enter a mindset, if you don't come back to me, I will never ever in a million years reach out to you, because I don't want to force love. You may be thinking about these topics, right? So this woman doesn't love you, but you have spent, I don't want to say wasted, but spent some of her time and her energy when you need it. And it's usually because you need distraction, because it's comfortable to get back with your ex that is giving you what your shallow, wounded masculine needs, right? So now what you can do to truly close this contract is repay her for the service that she has provided to you in lessons of life, in allowing both of you this time to close this properly. Because sometimes the moment we know that we don't want something, when we have no compassion, we're like, okay, now I know I have the strength, I'm going to walk away, bye, I'm off the door. But it's also showing that it's this avoidance, right? It's so many lessons that I'm feeling in these situations You're given an opportunity to have compassion, to understand what true love really is, to understand that you deserve things, but also to battle your avoidance and not to be, okay, I decided I'm off the door. I'm not saying for you to spend the next year of your life in a relationship with this woman, but if you live together, move out. If you're dating, make sure it's crystal clear you're no longer together. But there may be a few months when you're really going to need to show compassion, to create a little bit of space for her to move forward. And I was also hearing, so it may be an actual case for some of you. This is why I always say to you guys that we should never, and it was part of our masculine Monday today, I am the problem. I always say this to you guys: you cannot really blame others and other people for harm that they caused you, even if it was a lot of harm, because in reality, before incarnating in this lifetime, it might have been that this person is actually a pure soul that volunteered to help you. It does happen that there are souls that we know that we have to learn harsh lessons, right? 555. We know that we have to break the pattern of people pleasing, of, allowing, of accepting the shallowness, right? So you find a soul that's like a buddy of yours, or a random soul that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to be this woman for you in this lifetime. I'm going to be all controlling. I'm going to be all this and that, right? I'm going to do this to you. And in disagreement, sometimes as souls, we agreed that we're not going to build karma on it, right? So whatever she's done to you, you may have an agreement that it's not going to actually build karma with you, but she's just volunteering to help you to learn the lessons. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you really need to activate your compassion. I want to do a few of these for you for guidance. And then we're going to do some shadows that this whole situation is illuminating within you. Whoop, too many. All right, we have 4. You guys, I love when Spirit agrees with me. I got the power. Read that. Compassion. This is your biggest lesson. Not to walk away from this situation as a avoidant douche, but as a true divine masculine that knows. Maybe you are even in this mindset of realization, of really self-awareness. It's like, no, this is not it. What have I done? Oh my God. And maybe it's like, what you want to do is like run to your feminine, right? This is your opportunity to show masculinity, to show strength, to show maturity, and to show compassion, okay? So accept that it may take time to stabilize this relationship. And just a side note, you beautiful masculines, when you return to us as divine masculines, right? You really need to be in a place when you handle your own baggage. It doesn't mean that we're not going to support each other on this journey. It doesn't mean we're not going to, jointly helping each other on this last recalibration state of healing together, right? The last stage of healing in divine pairings happens together. But you cannot connect to us if you still have cords within your sacral connecting you to someone else, if you still have baggage with you, active baggage. So if you have someone who's still like calling you, texting you, you have to close this out. It's really, and I always say this, it's an energetic intention. And I say this to many people who jump from one relationship to another, not in divine pairings, but normal people, right? Who are one relationship from another. Your future partner doesn't deserve to be served uncleansed energy that you're bringing from past relationship. So you really now have to take your time to close this And once it is closed, once it is done, sometimes it may reach a moment that you're going to have to really block her and delete her and really like change your phone number. I don't know. It may vary from some of you. Some of these feminists, again, it's a collective. I'm hearing many things. Some of these feminists, it may be that you're just going to give them a little bit of space, and within a few months, they sort of are going to accept it, and the contract's going to be closed. And also once you learn all your lessons. But some may be really, I feel it depends how bad the state of your people pleasing and self-love is. But some of you may push you to really be like, okay, I've given you time, I've given you compassion, I've given you conversations, understanding. Now I'm sorry, but it's just time for me to